Green flag in the air here at Texas. So we have 2 stages, no stage breaks, but first stage 60 laps. And we'll have to see if these guys have got the prep done, and we can see some clean racing. All right, already early battle here for P1 as we see Boyd, Hogan, Tyler, Justice side by side since the green flag drop, really. But Boyd Hogan now leveraging this inside here. He's going to try to clear the 77. 77 still has that momentum on the outside, exiting 4. And they're just going to continue to ride side by side here until one of them makes some sort of mistake. Just behind them, a lot of single filing out through about position 7. So most exciting battle on the track so far here for P1. Our pole sitter under attack early by Boyd Hogan, who's now going to slide underneath and take that first position. So Boyd Hogan to the lead officially here on lap 4 after starting on that outside. All right, working our way back through the field here. Looks like top 5, Boyd Hogan, Tyler Justice now P2, Charles Grant Jr. sitting P3 currently. Austin Brooks P4, Johnny Avila in the 63 car sitting P5. So pretty calm start here as we see a lot of single file. Further back though, have some jockeying for position for about P10 or P12 here in the back. Daryl Hahn, who has shown a lot of speed throughout the season, down 1 position from the start of the race, but expect him to move forward, as well as Dallas Pataska, the car just behind him. We know Pataska has a ton of speed. As Ray Gill gets loose just ahead of Pataska, but able to get up the track and out of the way, but Gill going to lose a ton of spots there. Luckily, he did not turn back into the field and collect a bunch of people. So Dallas Pataska able to get that position, but also clean race car still for Mr. Pataska here taking lap 8. We have Minanci Major and Colby DeCarlo here now battling for P8. Looks like Major was the one to take the position from DeCarlo there. So DeCarlo sliding back just a bit here early. Go on board here real quick with Dallas Pataska, driver of the 23 car. You see him get to that white line. It's going to be highly beneficial for him throughout this run here. It seems like everyone is getting to a good groove, and we should keep it green for a fair amount of time. So him wrapping that white, going to protect those tires and allow him to move forward as his run continues. You see just behind him Cody Porter, driver of the 4 car, currently sitting P15, up 1 spot from the start of the race. Also doing a good job getting that car down to the bottom. Obviously might be giving up a bit of pace here by committing to that bottom lane. But with the way things are going now, might be a good decision, though. It looks like James Morvan just behind him, starting to get pretty big in that mirror. Now he's to his right quarter there. He's going to be outside of him here, entering 1 and 2. They are now side by side, heading down the backstretch. James Morvan will actually get some good positioning on the entry of 3. Let's see if he can clear him on the exit, and he will. So James Morvan moving up to P15. Porter now sliding back to the 16th spot. And the 51 car of Tanner Love already all over his rear bumper here. So we'll keep an eye on Porter to see if he can defend that as he gets a little bit loose up the track. Thought we saw the 4 car get a little bit loose, but able to save it and maintain his position for now. We'll head back up towards the front. See Johnny Avila, driver of the 63 car, kind of working a lane up through 1 and 2 there. Yeah, it seems pretty committed to this middle lane. Both ends of the track will go on board here with Johnny Avila just to get a different view of some of the strategies we're seeing by these drivers, as we're now 14 laps into this race. 47 laps to go here in this first stage. See the Beer Line fans are out. Racer Girl, thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, yeah, the Joe Stafford fans coming out in bunches. Love to see it. See him get down a little bit tighter this time. But Dirty Air definitely something to contend with here at Texas, as things starting to heat up a bit towards the front. That's actually no, sorry, that's actually a lap car there ahead of Boyd Hogan here. So 56 car there. I believe that's Tommy Carroll Jr. moving out of the way, causing a little bit of a shuffle here for our leaders as they work around him on the backstretch there. But I thought I saw a car ahead of Hogan there. I was like, I missed something there, but looks like already coming up on lap traffic here on lap 16. We got a lot of different teams with different budgets, so guys are going to be running their race at their pace. So yes, we have highly competitive, highly skilled drivers in 5-Star Cup Series, but also some guys who are developing, trying to work on their pace, work on their speed as we go week to week. As things again now being stacked up pretty hard here. Getting around Tommy Carroll Jr. there. Things were a little bit sketchy there. And Avila's just going to try to ride the high lane here to gather all sorts of momentum to try to clean up that loss of time there. Avila working underneath Austin Brooks here, so running the high line there through 1 and 2, gathering momentum, now diving underneath Austin Brooks, passing him for now P4. So Avila up to P4, 1 spot away from a podium position here, who's now again running up near the wall. A car parked there on the apron. I think he's off the racing surface, so we shouldn't see a caution, but not sure who that is. We'll go back and take a look here in just a second. But Avila now returning to that middle lane. I think he was just defending hard against Brooks there, wanted to try to keep that position. Things starting to heat up here as DeCarlo now working again here on Major. Major passed DeCarlo earlier in this stint, but seems to be having the pace advantage here as we cross the line to take lap 21. And again, Pataska just behind. Pataska has moved up 10 positions from the start of the race, so definitely moving in the right direction here. Yeah, now we see guys really starting to flare out, trying to find that clean air. As that bottom lane heats up too, there's really, between the lack of air and lack of grip, can be tough to run down there, especially tight behind other drivers here. As Pataska now rides his bottom lane. Looks like they had a slow car ahead. I believe that's Carroll Jr. there. But now things very stacked up here. DeCarlo just to the outside of Minazzi Major through 3 and 4. Pataska in the wings, and you see the 57 there of Joe Stafford as we're 2 by 2 heading down the front stretch. It's still 2 by 2 heading into turns 1 and 2. DeCarlo going to try to clear. Major getting loose there. Car's going to work around him here down the backstretch. Pataska including working underneath Minazzi Major. Also, Joe Stafford trying to get a sneaky pass done here on the 82. Pataska able to make the pass work. 57 still trapped behind that 82 car. We'll see if Minazzi Major can clean things up here as he now rides up near the wall, going to try to gather momentum. Still able to hold on to that position for now, but things definitely heating up here about mid-pack. It's a cool Powerade paint scheme there. And now the battle to watch here might be Pataska and DeCarlo, as Pataska has now moved up 11 spots. What's one more spot here as he's now breathing down the neck of DeCarlo here, entering 3 and 4. Coming back up towards the front for a brief second here. It looks like Johnny Avila has now gotten up to Charles Grant Jr. here, now underneath him through 1 and 2. We mentioned earlier Avila was able to get that 4th position, 1 spot away from top 3, and he's trying to capitalize here on his inside leverage through 3 and 4. We'll see if the continued pressure will get to the 52 car. Might have had a little bit of a stumble there on the exit of 4. That bump as you get higher and higher on the exit of 4 will be more and more severe. So especially on older tires, that bump can really get you crossed up. Avila going to move ahead here and take the 3rd spot. Now Austin Brooks also working on Charles Grant Jr. here for 4th. We'll switch over to last lap time here, just to take a look at some of the paces we're seeing throughout the field. So Hogan still having the hot lap there with a 58.1. Justice not far behind with the 6:01. Beerline in the 5s. Pataska in the low 5s. So expect him to continue to move up, as looks like he was able just to get a pass done there on DeCarlo. So we saw those two kind of jostling for position. Now Pataska moving up to P7. Let's back it off to a blimp cam here. See if we can get a better feel of some of the positions, some of the battles we might be seeing. So we mentioned Charles Grant Jr., Austin Brooks here. Looks like 33 car Brooks is going to also be able to pass the 52 here, as Grant Jr. tries to ride that white line, though The added speed of running that high lane, 33 is going to be able to easily clear him down the backstretch here. And now 13 car of Aiden Beerline, who we saw was still running some pretty rapid lap times, contesting the 52 for a top 5 position. Beerline going to work on the outside of Grant Jr. there and clear him down the backstretch here. So Beerline up to top 5. He started P6. Took some time here to gain that spot, but eventually does. Now riding in the 5th spot. Benazzi Major still sliding back a bit now. Tanner Love working underneath him through the tri-oval here. Is it a tri-oval or quad oval? See, this is when I need a co-anchor to tell me. I'll find out in just a minute. But Tanner Love now moving up to P9. He's up 12 spots from the start of the race. Pataska up 13 spots. So those two drivers, hot movers here early, as we're about a little bit past halfway done with our first stage. That lap by, we're taking lap 34. 27 laps left here in this first stage. But Justice that time by actually about a 10th faster, a little bit less than a 10th faster than Hogan. So while Hogan did make a convincing jump to the front there early, we'll see if he can hold on over the long run here and maintain that lead as we tick down the laps towards the end of our first stage. Again, no stage breaks, so we will continue green as long as these guys keep the caution away. And as we saw during qualifying, green flag stops top of mind for several of these drivers. So, you know, the added practice there might be beneficial for I forget exactly who we saw do that, but we've seen a lot of mistakes on pit road throughout the year. Boyd Hogan having his share of pit road green flag pit stop mistakes, but so have a lot of the drivers throughout the field. But things seemingly calm here. We saw a lot of comers and goers throughout this stage, but things have started to sort it out here. And again, I caught out of the corner of my eye, Johnny Avila is still committed to running up near the wall. Avila is now breathing down the neck of the 77 of Tyler Justice. We were mentioning Tyler Justice was running some hot laps there, but he has fallen off a bit here, as might have kind of some trouble with the interruption of that lapper there, as the 63 gets a little bit loose, has to catch the car on the exit of 2. Definitely not the fastest way around there, but able to save the car. Now you see Justice working underneath Clapper Newell here. Clapper Newell obviously all the right to try to keep as many spots as he can, but has already been lapped. There you see a little bobble there by Justice still. Justice now trying to I don't know what we just saw there. I mean, the camera angle is lousy, but I don't know if Justice was throwing a block or what, but we saw him get loose as he moved down the track. But definitely precarious spot there around Clapper Newell. Luckily, both Justice and Avila able to work their way around unscathed. Though it looks like their times did take a bit of a hit. Now Hogan up to what might be the biggest lead of the race so far, with a 1.5 second lead over Tyler Justice. But Avila really positioning himself to pounce here as he's looking to the inside through 1 and 2. Justice going to go way up near the wall. They're going to come out about even on the exit, but Justice will have a lot extra speed here as he does get into the wall. That's going to cost him momentum and cost him a position. So Avila now up to P2. Justice sliding back to P3 after showing some convincing pace for the last handful of laps there. But Avila now the driver making the moves, and we'll see if he has what it takes here to try to catch up to the 96 of Hogan. Backing up here just a bit. Looks like Colby DiCarlo was able to get a pass done here on the 23 of Dallas Pataski. See him get loose there on the exit of 2. We've seen a couple guys do that, but that time specifically for the 23 is going to cost him a spot. And looking through my my event log here, it does look like we had a driver come down pit lane. Joseph Stafford in 57 pitted on lap 41. So I believe it was a 4-tire and fuel stop for Joe Stafford. So early strategy call for the 57 there. See him now out and driving. I believe he's still a lap down as of now, but electing to go down pit lane early. I mean, hey, I respect it. Something new, something different. No stage breaks, so if you need to get an adjustment in, if you have a strategy you're committed to, might be worth it. Scanning through my splits here, it looks like now Aiden Beerline doing his best to contest for this top 4 spot here, as Tyler Justice has started to slide back a bit here as we're 15 laps left in this first stage. So all on board here with Mr. Beerline. Beerline with the 1 top 5, 1 top 10. Has shown a lot of pace. I mean, I remember calling his name numerous times here throughout the first nine races of the season. But would expect to see more top 5s, more top 10s out of Mr. Beerline. Might have just had a black cloud kind of follow him here. And now working underneath Tyler Justice, about even with him heading down the backstretch. And he's going to actually clear him through 3 and 4. So 13 making a very clean pass there. Now up to P4. So with 13 laps to go, just adding to that points total. We car in the wall. Caleb Begg there. See him bounce off the wall in a major way. And that, I believe that car is still not right. I saw him kind of fighting that thing through the entrance of 4. Go on board real quick with Mr. Begg to see if the wheels seems straight still, but heavy impact there for Begg. As he's going to come down pit lane this time. Smoking tires. See if he got slowed up enough. No black flag for the 72s, so I believe he did get it woed up enough there, and we'll be getting some fresh tires and fuel here with 11 laps to go here in stage 1. Team Minazzi Major has a meatball flag. Might have struck the outside wall, not exactly sure. Yeah, don't see anything to indicate what that would be from, but yeah, he obviously will have to pit to get that damage repaired if it's not a phantom meatball. Have had phantom meatballs in the past. But 9 laps to go now. You see 00 car of Gordon Larson Jr. here getting tires and fuel. Also, another our pole sitter Tyler Justice electing to come down pit lane with just 9 laps to go in the first stage. So after running P1 for about half a lap and P2 for about 30 laps, 77 electing to come down pit lane, giving up track position here to conclude the stage. But we'll be looking to flip the stage as we now have 8 laps to go here for Boyd Hogan to claim the first spot of stage 1. Austin Brooks starting to get rather large here in the rear view of Avila. Whenever I flick back to these two, see the 33 just continuing to apply pressure to the 63 car. Pretty tight coming down the front stretch here. Remember, the 33 car and the 63 car, as we'll probably see these two fight more and more as this race continues, as they have Ray Gill now to contend here with on the exit of 2. Able to get around cleanly though. Yeah, I think that was just a phantom meet for Major because saw he pitted, normal pit time there. The car slowly rolling down the backstretch. I believe that was Ray Gill able to get it rolling again. So caution does not come out, but he's gonna probably work his way down to pit lane here. No, he stays out. So just a little mistake there by the 66. Obviously gonna cost him a lot of time here. But Austin Brooks now passing Johnny Avila here with just 5 to go in the first stage. Great job there by Austin Brooks to hang tough and eventually regain that second spot, as now Boyd Hogan, our leader, electing to come down pit lane with 4 laps to go here in the stage. So he's going to sacrifice stage 1 points and elect to undercut the stage there. Also, Aiden Beerline, driver of 13 car, coming down pit lane here as well. So that shuffles 33 car Austin Brooks up to the front. And Avila to P2. We're starting to see the guys in their new shoes here work their way around these leaders who are on older tires. Can be pretty treacherous, as obviously the guys on newer tires wanting to gain as much ground as they can, but the leaders still having their natural pace, natural positioning can cause some moments of excitement, as Bacon Zelenka working on the outside of our current leader Austin Brooks here. And I was just told by production Texas is a quad oval, so I was right to correct myself earlier. We have a caution here with 2 laps to go in stage 1. That does freeze the field, so the stage 1 results there you see on the right side of your screen are the stage 1 results there. And that's gonna hurt a lot of guys who decided to pit there. But Austin Brooks winning the first stage. Johnny Avila, let's flash up that stage 1. So Johnny Avila coming P2, just behind him. Charles Grant Jr. will be claiming that 3rd position there to conclude stage 1. Funny how these things happen. You know, we don't have stage break cautions, but I always feel like we have cautions right around the stage ending. But expect basically all of the drivers who did not elect to come down pit lane before the end of the stage to come down pit lane. And we are seeing just that. Brooks, Avila Jr., Grant Jr., DeCarlo, Love, Clark Jr., Han, Seville, Porter, and Pataska all down pit lane. We're gonna have a good race there off pit lane. Austin Brooks gonna hold on to the lead, and looks like Charles Grant Jr. was actually able to gain 1 spot there, coming out ahead of the 63 car of Johnny Avila. And that pit lane report graphic almost worked. There's just a couple things that are still not coming through. See, the 52 car should have had a +1, 63 should have had a -1. And yeah, well, there's always next week. All right, well, with that, as I mentioned, a lot of drivers kind of screwed there, as Brooks will maintain the lead after pitting there under caution. Charles Grant Jr. will be P2. Johnny Avila will start just behind our leader in P3. DeCarlo will be starting outside of him in P4. But the driver who really got screwed there, Boyd Hogan, the 96, will be back in P12 here. As we start stage 2, we saw him give up the lead and come down pit lane with 4 laps to go there in that first stage after leading basically the entire stage. So not the best sequence of events for the 96 car, but hey, Hogan very fast. Expect him to get back up to the front as long as he doesn't get caught up in other people's mess he creates on his own. But with that, pace car lights are off, and we will be restarting here to start our second stage here at Texas Motor Speedway. Green flag back in the air. Good jump there on that bottom lane. 63 car going to clear Grant Jr. there and follow behind the 33 car of Austin Brooks. So Avila able to easily gain that second spot, starting behind the leader after losing that spot on pit lane. As I mentioned, saw some guys flaring out 3 wide down the backstretch. Expect some aggressive moves by the 96 and some of the other cars that were trapped a lap down, Tyler Justice included. Austin Brooks now up the track and blocking to the inside there to try to maintain his positioning into 3 and 4. Grant Jr. putting a power move on him down through 3 and 4. Going to try to clear him down the front stretch, and he does. So Grant Jr. to the lead here on lap 65. And we have a new leader. Further behind, we see 2x2 as Pataska and Boyd Hogan here trying to carve their way through this field. See Pataska now up to P6 or P6, working on the outside of Avila there. And something must have happened to the 63 car because Avila was just up there with the leaders. Not sure what happened. Avila has slidden back several spots there. Now Dallas Pataska working on the outside of Tanner Love here. He's going to continue to work his way forward and easily clear Love into 1 and 2. So Pataska now P4. As for our leader, now out to about a 7/10 lead over Brooks. And just behind Boyd Hogan, also moving up numerous spots. Remember, he started around P12, now sitting P7. So has wasted a little time to work his way back forward after getting trapped a lap down. Really curious to know what happened to Villa there. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, hey, maybe he just got steamrolled. Maybe he got trapped on the bottom. But strange to see that happen that quickly. Go on board here with Boyd Hogan, driver of the 96. Again, led most of the first stage. Has now worked his way up through this field. Currently sitting P7 after the restart there to start stage 2. Pretty impressive stat sheet there. 7 top 5s, 7 top 10s. So all of his top 10s or top 5s is what I'm led to believe there. Average finish of 5.7. Surprised to see only 1 win though. I mean, 7 top 5s, 1 win. That's got to sting a little bit. But I believe he is our points leader. The points are not updated, so I can't show you guys the points, but Boyd Hogan definitely up towards the top, if not leading. So we see a battle starting to take shape up here as Pataska now working on the outside of 33 of Austin Brooks. So Pataska continuing to move forward now into P2. The cars flaring out down the backstretch. Don't know if we were seeing some blocks or what, but working through 3 and 4 cleanly as Clapper Newell and Minazzi Major here side by side through 1 and 2. Looks like Newell was just trying to defend some spots, but Minazzi Major and Morvan able to work their way around him. Back up towards the front. It's going to be a chase here as Pataska about 1.2 seconds behind our leader, but definitely has shown a lot of pace. Now Hogan working underneath Tanner Love there. He's going to move up to P5. Let's go on board here with Dallas Pataska. Kind of get an idea of how far behind he is from Grant Jr. But now cut to under a second. We saw last lap 1.2 second lead over Pataska. Now this lap under a second, about an 8/10 lead. So Pataska still reeling in our leader. We'll throw up the last lap times here. Yeah, so last lap Junior ran a 2:74. Pataska ran a 1:12. See what the times look like crossing this time. So Grant Jr. up to 385, Pataska down to a 178. So the math ain't mathing for the 52. He needs to try to steady out those times if he wants to maintain this lead. A quick look at the 23 stat sheet here. 2 wins, 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s, average finish of 8.9. So also another top competitor here, week in and week out. And if he continues running this pace, he might find himself at the front. Now things seemingly calm down just a bit as the 96 now works that middle lane through 3 and 4. It's going to have a good run here down the front stretch. And looking to the inside of DeCarlo here through 1 and 2. DeCarlo going to able to hold on to his spot for now, but Hogan looking pretty speedy here on lap 78. Has moved up a large amount of positions already. And looking for another one here to inch closer to the top 3. Now Hogan to his quarter there through 3 and 4. They're about even heading down the front stretch. Carlo does have a little bit of pace there on the outside, but Hogan most likely will clear the 17 here on the exit of 2. Now they're still even here. They're going to be side by side heading down the backstretch. A little bit of banging there. Trying to make space for the entry of 3 and 4. This is the battle for P4 here. DeCarlo doing his best to defend his position. This time you see Hogan get even better position on the entry of 1, but still side by side here heading down the backstretch. And Hogan that time slicing through on the bottom side, able to clear up ahead of the 17 and make the pass for P4. So Hogan, after starting P12 on that restart, up to P4 here. And Colby DeCarlo sliding back to the 5th spot. Checking in on our leader, who now has a lead of just 4/10 here. So Pataska has consistently been cutting down that lead. We saw it 1.2 seconds, 1.2 seconds handful of laps ago, but now down to under half a second. looks like we do have another battle starting to take form here. Boyd Hogan working his way. Oh, that was lap traffic there. It looks like they were trying to get around Caleb Begg there. So that's what I saw. But Begg's car seems really, really upset there, exiting the corners. So keep an eye on that 72. He gets sideways, gets loose there, up towards the wall. Guys trying to work their way around the 72 car. Might have damage, might have wheel damage that he's fighting, but trapped on the high side, so he's not going to be able to pit. And now the lead cut down to under 2/10. Dallas Pataska continuing to chop down this lead, and he's there. So just a couple more laps. If the split of pace continues, Pataska will move to the lead. Grant Jr. going to do his best here to feed the dirty air and defend his lead for now. We'll see how hard he makes it for the 23, who has now gained about 1.5 seconds of time here on the 52. Dallas kind of using that outside leverage there to gather momentum. Now cutting underneath the 52, heading into 3 and 4. And able to get ahead here through 3 and 4. He's going to try to clear up ahead of Grant Jr. down the front stretch. Ever so slightly, 52 still there. But the 23 should be able to use his inside position here to clear the 52 and move officially to the race lead here on lap 88. So Pataska now to the lead on lap 88. 36 laps to go here in the second stage. We'll see what the lap times are looking like now. So last lap, Pataska ran a 4.74. Obviously was battling there with Grant Jr. Seeing a lot of threes. So we have smoke. Not sure where the smoke came from, but we're still green. So as I was mentioning, a lot of threes there through the top 5. Even some drivers into the top 10. As caution's out here on lap 90. Caution is out. See if we can find the 72 car. Yeah, getting loose into the wall. Oh no, and collecting James Morvant there. Was he able to keep it out of the wall? Yeah, so luckily, while Begg did collect James, he was able to lock it down and stay out of the wall. So just some fresh tires on the 12 should be sufficient there. But that does bring out a caution on lap 90. We should see about everybody come down pit lane here. See Dallas Pataska rolling off pit lane there. Able to hold on to his lead. Yep. So Pataska coming out P1. And we'll see the positions flash up there on the right side. Don't know how correct it is, but Yeah, weird. See, like it completely missed Brooks. That's all right. I'll get it figured out. It's tough because iRacing doesn't actually report any official parameter metric for pit lane positioning. All right, well, just looking at the field, looks to be Dallas Pataska P1, Grant Jr. P2, Austin Brooks 3rd, and Boyd Hogan in that 4th spot. We saw how hot that outside lane fires off. So keep an eye on Hogan here, who will be on the outside, as well as Grant Jr., who we saw take the lead from the outside last restart. Right, and pace car lights are off, so we'll be back to green here on lap 92, coming to lap 93. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight for another race here at 5-Star Cup Series. Same time, same place every Wednesday around 8 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to follow so you know when we go live. But we're about to take the green flag again. Keep an eye on that outside lane. Green flag back in the air here on lap 93. Great jump there by the 23 of Dallas Pataska. Also, Austin Brooks there working that bottom lane work. See Charles Grant Jr. there holding tough there on the outside. Looks like Hogan did slide back actually. Just a bit there to Carlo. And Austin Brooks looks like are competing with him there for some positions. But Pataska free and clear here. He's going to enjoy this brief moment of clean air as the guys behind him start to get a little bit wadded up here. Hogan back in the picture in a big way there, working underneath. Now clearing up ahead, almost clearing up ahead there of DeCarlo. Now able to clear him into 1 and 2. Villa almost catching the left rear quarter there. A car in the wall hard. Cody Porter there, several spots back. Hard hip check into the outside wall on the exit of 2. And if he doesn't have to come get that car fixed, then these things are certified tanks, because that was a hard hit for the 4 car of Porter. Again, another hit for Porter there into the wall. I mean, that is getting crazy now. That was 2 heavy hits for the right side of that 4 car. He seems to be rolling fine still. That's insane. Grant Jr. working underneath Brooks here. He's gonna stick his nose there underneath the 33 through 3 and 4. You saw Brooks try to kind of shut that down and throw a block if he could, but Junior was just able to be pretty stubborn and make it work. So Grant Jr. now to P2 here, and Brooks might have kissed the wall a bit, but he's going to look underneath the 52 here heading into 3 and 4. and get that spot back. You see him get a good drive off there. And they're going to be even heading down the front stretch. Hogan trying to do his best to maintain his positioning, see where he can take advantage if he can. And Avila up near the wall. He's going to come with a lot of steam and be involved here. Brooks Jr. still side by side here, heading into 3 and 4. Oh, Brooks touching the white line. That's going to cost him a lot of momentum there. It's going to back him up to be now even with Hogan, as we have a caution out. And Porter, who we saw hit the outside wall, I think he tried to pit under green, and something went very wrong, because I see he is black flagged. Let's see what happened here. Oh, 04 car around. So, and did he slide? Yep. So he slid on the pit lane, unsafe entrance. So he was speeding, just facing the wrong way, but bringing out the caution. So not sure what the deal is with that 4 car, but was running pretty well here. But after that restart, seemed like that car was not happy. Couple fakes there. Pataska, our leader, faking the pit entry. Boyd Hogan will be committed to pitting this time, this caution. Daryl Hahn also down pit lane. Manatsi Major coming down pit lane as well. Tyler Justice, our pole sitter, electing to come down pit lane, and several others as well. Joe Stafford in. All right, well, looks like we did have a potential 2-tire stop by the 96. Let's go back and confirm that. Speed things up here a bit. See the 96 come down pit lane. Yeah, just a 2-tire stop. So that's right there on the pit lane report. It's just the positioning and some of the other things are still broken. But taking a look here at the field, so it looks like everybody through position 9 elected to stay out. Everybody behind Larson Jr. in that 9 spot on fresh tires. So it could be a rather dramatic start to the restart here. 22 laps here to go in this second stage. Then after that, we'll have a 70 lap shootout to the end. Again, remember, 96 car did only take 2 tires there. So we'll see how that pans out for Hogan. We'll need to keep an eye here on the field as, again, split right down the middle between fresh tires and about 10 lap old tires. The pace car is off, waiting on the 23 to get us restarted. Green flag in the air. Good jump there by Dallas Pataska on the bottom and going to be able to clear Grant Jr. there. Things start to get a little bit stacked up on that outside. You see Boyd Hogan cut 3 wide here through 1 and 2, working above the 13 of beer line and below 36 of Casey Clark Jr. Further back, we also have another 3 wide. See the 0-0 slide back as Daryl Hahn and Joe Stafford able to work their way around him. Up towards the front, 33 car of Austin Brooks and Grant Jr. now battling here for P2. So again, Pataska will enjoy the cars behind him, starting to fight hard here for positions as he slides away with already a half-second lead over our P2 car, Grant Jr. Boyd Hogan now up to P6 here on those 2 fresh tires. And also another driver to keep an eye on, 77, Tyler Justice, our pole sitter, now back up to P8. He kind of got screwed there after that first stage caution came out. The unofficial first stage caution came out, got trapped a lap down. But we know 77 is fast as he's our pole sitter here, now up to P7. Hogan all over the rear bumper there of the 63 of Johnny Avila. He's going to continue to try to work his way forward here. Avila's going to be trapped behind a couple cars there on the bottom lane. Hogan's going to have the run off of 4. Now Avila working underneath Charles Grant Jr. here. They're going to be side by side heading down the backstretch. Here comes Tyler Justice in that 77 car as things kind of get bunched up ahead of Hogan. He's entering the picture here. Avila now able to clear Charles Grant Jr. there on the front stretch, and Hogan also looking to do the same here through 1 and 2, now working underneath the 52. They are going to be side by side heading down the backstretch here, and Justice, see how he navigates his way. Hogan easily able to clear Grant Jr. there through 3 and 4, and Justice now even with him on the exit of 4. So Grant Jr. obviously on older tires compared to some of the guys now working their way around him. But he's looking to the inside here, Justice, after getting past on that last lap. I mean, valiant effort here by Grant Jr. to hold on to his spot, but with the older tires, might just be delaying the inevitable here. But still hanging tough there on that bottom side. Just ahead of those two, we have Boyd Hogan and Avila here battling it out as the cars sliding to the bottom of the track, driving to the bottom of the track there. 3 wide who through 3 and 4. Tanner Love caught in the center here. Nazi Major, Tanner Love able to work their way around Grant Jr. as well. So Grant Jr. continuing to slide back, cars working 3 wide around him. But as that was going on, Hogan completing the pass on Avila. Joe Stafford now working underneath Grant Jr. here as he, I believe Joe Stafford also came in for fresh tires on lap 100. He did. We have some smoke. Car slow there on the bottom of the track. I believe that's Tommy Carroll Jr. Caution is out. You saw his nose start sort of poke up above that bottom white line there. Was enough for iRacing to detect a crash car, bringing out the caution here on lap 113. So those guys who elected to stay out last time on lap 90, we'll see what decision they make here on lap 113. 11 laps to go here in this second stage. Go back and take a look. Here's 56 car Tommy Carroll Jr. here entering turns 1 and 2. This car gets a little bit upset there, and the rear goes around on him. I keep seeing Porter off track. Is he driving through the grass again? We saw him drive through the grass at Talladega. Yep, he's driving through the grass. The man just loves grass. Yep. We do see Pataska come down pit lane, as well as Hogan and Justice. So basically everybody electing to come down pit lane. We might be within the pit window, or the being able to make it, or you know, make it if you save. So that's why we're probably seeing many of these guys electing to come down pit lane, including Hogan, who we saw just pit about 14 laps ago. Justice also coming down pit lane. See what kind of tire stops we have here. So looking like 4 tire stops for much of the field. Pataska rolling off as he's trying to hold on to the lead. 33 car might have stole it there. Austin Brooks moving up to the lead. So Brooks able to make it count there with 15.3 seconds stop up to the race lead, stealing it from Pataska. As long as he's free and clear of any tomfoolery flags, he will be a race leader coming to the green. Also, another surprising development here. Looks like the 49 car Clapper Newell made a fuel only stop. Let's see. Let's speed it up here. See exactly what the strategy call was for the 49. Yeah, I think that was a fuel only stop. Take a look. So coming in the pit stall, don't see him go up on the jack or anything. So fuel only stop for the 49. It does look like that time he did come down pit lane. So might have been unintentional fuel only stop. So he is cycled to the back now as the front of the field taking shape here. But I'll go ahead and hide that. So Brooks will be our leader coming to green here, this time by Pataska starting on the outside. Hogan will be just behind our race leader on that bottom lane, and Avila to his outside. So a lot of fast guys up here. Justice right there in the picture, followed by Tanner Love, Morvant, and Joe Stafford there in the wings on that outside lane. Pace car is off, waiting on our new race leader, 33 car of Austin Brooks, to get us restarted. Green flag back in the air. Good jump by both lanes, as we're pretty locked up 2 by 2 here for the lead. Brooks able to hold on to his lead there. Pataska holding on to P2. Hogan sliding ahead of Johnny Avila there. So top 3 cars, all previous race leaders, coming back to the line, taking lap 117. 7 laps to go here in the second stage. Brooks off to a pretty healthy lead. Pataska really wrapping that bottom lane there. Does get a good run off of 4. Brooks pedaling that thing down the front stretch, trying to maintain the gap, feed the dirty air to the 23. And if he can hold Pataska behind him long enough for Hogan to get involved, maybe try to work around Pataska as well, he might be able to increase his lead here. Though it looks like Pataska now to the outside here of Austin Brooks, contending for the race lead, heading down the front stretch side by side with Austin Brooks heading into 1 and 2. And he's going to fly that thing off into the corner there, using that middle lane to gather speed to try to clear him down the backstretch. Pataska now to the race lead, clearing Brooks here into 3 and 4. Brooks sliding just ahead of Hogan there, getting him checked up on the entrance of 3. So for now, Pataska's going to slide out just a bit here, but look for Hogan to try to work his way around Austin Brooks. As Avila trying to use the higher lanes here to hold on to his position from Tyler Justice. After losing the lead there on pit lane, Pataska now out free and clear with the lead, about a half-second lead over Austin Brooks here. Villa and Justice almost touching doors here, heading down the front stretch. I was informed Tyler Justice did receive a headset, so he mentioned he was racing without sound for a while, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. Especially when you're shifting and doing that sort of stuff here. Now Boyd Hogan peeking to the inside of Austin Brooks there through the mid corner of 3 and 4. Not quite enough there to get the positioning he needs. Last lap here of stage 2. Pataska leading by almost a second here. Things really bunched up here just behind him for P2 and P3. Hogan going to sail it off into the corner, slide up ahead of the 33 car. Justice almost touching the left rear quarter of Brooks, but Pataska will win stage 2. Hogan taking position 2 on the last corner there. But again, we're still green, no stage breaks, so continuing green here on lap 124. 77 laps to go here in this race. But Brooks, after getting passed there by the 96, Justice working above him here through 3 and 4, even down the front stretch. And Avila trying to make things work there on the outside. Justice going to be able to clear the 33 car down the backstretch. So Justice P3, Hogan P2, Pataska riding first here. Avila now working again on Brooks. We've seen Avila completely comfortable working that outside lane. Tuned in from Guatemala. Hell yeah, man. Glad you decided to tune in while visiting Guatemala. Where in Guatemala? Brooks continuing to slide back here is now Tanner Love. Going to be working above him here down the backstretch. and clear him as well. So Brooks slides back to P6. Love now into P5, up 16 spots from the start of the race. The only other biggest mover is Dallas Pataska in P1. Antigua, nice. What time zone is that? Is that? Can't remember. Things have calmed down just a bit, and I was afraid to do the crank it up off the restart just because we had some large implications, but we'll sneak in a quick crank it up here on lap 130. Coming out of the crank it up here, things are still pretty calm here throughout the field, pretty single filed out. But Daryl Hahn trying to work on the back here of the 57 with Joe Stafford. Stafford getting a little bit loose ahead of the 8 car. Able to get it sorted there, but now Hahn going to easily be able to pass Stafford there down the front stretch. Almost very, very big disaster there for the 57, but looks like he was able to get it sorted before Hahn ran into the back of him there. Orban also working on the 57. Gone into the wall just a bit there. Might have got back to the throttle just a little bit too quickly. So Carlo, who we saw up towards the front with the leaders, kind of hanging back here, P15. Guy into the wall there. I think that was Bacon Zelenka there, causing some cars to fan out down the backstretch. Things looking pretty racy there. Further back in the field, coming back up towards the front, Austin Brooks, Tanner Love. Pretty tight split between the two. I believe Brooks has been tracking down the 51 car, Tanner Love here. On board here with Austin Brooks. Just one top 10 finish for Austin Brooks here so far for the 5-Star Cup Series season. Obviously now battling here with Tanner Love for P5. Would be a great finish for him. We saw him up at the race lead for a bit too as well, so pretty good day for the 33 car if he can finish strong here with 58 laps to go. Just ahead of them you see Johnny Avila, who's been up near the wall most of the day. We'll go on board with Johnny Avila here. Saw him up near the wall in 1 and 2, this time through 3 and 4, down near the white line. So splitting his strategy. Let's see if he goes up near the wall again. Just kind of riding this middle groove here, cutting down. Kind of a late apex there. Straighten the car out down the backstretch. We'll compare this to our current race leader, Dallas Pataska. See him just committed to wrapping the white through 1 and 2. And the same here for 3 and 4. Taking a look at the last lap times. As he crosses 30.529, 30.536 for Boyd Hogan in P2. So Pataska still doing what he needs to do to hold on to that race lead. We do have a driver down pit lane. Joe Stafford looks like he was black flagged though, so might have sped there on the entrance of pit lane for his green flag stop. Another driver down pit lane, Johnny Avila in the 63 car. So Avila also coming down pit lane for some fuel and tires. I believe this will be the last green flag stop. The last stop these drivers will need to take to make it to the end. Just those several drivers for now. As you see, Joe Stafford work his way back onto the racing surface there on the backstretch. But throughout the field, things pretty calm here. DiCarlo, ooh, almost getting to the back of Morvant there. You see Morvant go onto the apron with the tire, so pretty sketchy way to enter turn 3. It's going to cost him a position here if he's not able to hold on to this spot with DiCarlo working on his outside through 1 and 2. They are side by side heading down the backstretch. DiCarlo's going to be able to clear him though, looks like, into turns 3 and 4. So DiCarlo passing James Morvant here for position 10. So DiCarlo into the top 10 with that pass. Driver coming down pit lane, the 04 car of Cody Porter here. Saw him strike the wall pretty hard there on the right side. Don't know if I might see a panel gap there on the right side of that car, so might have some systemic damage to the 04 car, but deciding to come down pit lane on lap 152. And it could have been lap traffic, could have been, you know, starting to catch Clapper Noel here, feeding our leader dirty air. But last lap, Dallas Mataska running a 7.50, Hogan running a 6.79. So it might be dramatic. Yep, it was dramatic to call a chink in the armor there, because Patasker putting down a 5.78 that time by after getting around the lap traffic. A couple other guys down pit lane. Tanner Love, Aiden Beerline coming down pit lane for the green flag stop. Gordon Larson Jr. now just exiting pit lane after concluding his green flag stop. Last lap, Pataska still the fastest. This lap here slowed up just a bit. Hogan edging out the 23 car Dallas Pataska there by several hundredths. Still pretty even between these two top cars. Daryl Hahn back in P6, actually quicker than our leader. And Austin Brooks also running a 6.96, so that time by at least Austin Brooks fastest car on the track. Really going to come down to the execution of these green flag stops. These cars are close enough to where, you know, little mistakes entering pit lane under green will cost you a lot as far as positioning goes. But now ticking to lap 157, 44 laps to go. These drivers are going to think about when they'll come down. You know, our leader might just be content staying out until he sees cars behind him start to go, or he might try to split it here. Tyler Justice coming down pit lanes, locking up the tires just a bit. Looks like he was able to get it slowed up in time, so aggressive entry for the 77 might prove to be beneficial here as far as his pit in, pit out time. Manazzi Major coming down pit lane. Bacon Zelenka also heading down pit lane here on lap 158. Have some more drivers coming down pit lane. Colby DeCarlo riding down pit lane here for his final stop of the race. Final green stop flag, or green flag stop of the race. And that time by Hogan a bit faster, about 2/10 faster than our, or 200s faster than our leader, as well as Austin Brooks still putting down some hot lap times there. Looking a couple spots behind them though. Grant Jr. Hahn almost a 10th faster than our leader, though. Seems like with the lap traffic coming out around our leader, as Pataska getting it slowed down to enter pit lane. Hogan also entering pit lane, was able to close the gap just a bit there on our leader. Looks like both of those guys safe, did not get flagged for speeding, but someone who did, 52 car Charles Grant Jr. black flag, with most likely being too fast entering under green. But Hogan coming into his stall, not sliding through, as well as Dallas Pataska. Pataska off and rolling. 14-second stop for Pataska. Hogan also off and rolling there. And Hogan going to be able to come out ahead of our previous race leaders. A racing here on the apron. Pataska working underneath the 96. 96 was having to get the car wound up so he didn't slide out onto the racing surface, but a pass made there on the apron. After the green flag stops concluded, Hogan had the jump on the 23 car coming off of pit lane. He crossed the exit line before Pataska, but Pataska, aggressive move to the inside on that flat apron surface, and able to make the pass back for the natural race lead. Obviously, other cars still out on the racing surface who have not come down pit lane. Daryl Hahn, one of those guys currently riding as our race leader, will most likely come down pit lane here as soon as he does this time by. So that cycles James Morvant to the front. But we'll go back and take a look at the potential battle here between Hogan and Pataska, as they will most likely be cycled up to the front here if we stay green. Watching this now, Pataska able to slide out ahead of Hogan just a bit. Obviously have some of the guys on older tires to work around here. So James Morvant still holding on to the lead for now with 35 laps to go. Johnny Avila also staying out for now. Tyler Justice staying out for now. Tanner Love. And sorry, correction. So those guys have pitted. The only guy who have not pitted for their last stop is Morvan. So just because of the undercut, that's why we see Avila Justice ahead of Pataska for now. But 34 laps to go, obviously, with the tire advantage. Looks like Pataska has a 3-lap tire advantage over Justice, and has a 13-lap tire advantage over Avila. So a 14-lap tire advantage, rather. Sorry. So while those two do have track position, it's going to be up to Pataska to chase them down and make those passes here. Coming to lap 169. And Morbot's still out. I think he's vying for a caution here. About 22 seconds ahead of the first guy to pit, Johnny Avila, or the guy furthest in the field who did pit, rather. See Pataska there inching closer to the back of the 77. Only a 3-lap difference between the 77 and Pataska there, but with how Pataska's been driving, that's more than enough of a difference here to easily work his way around Tyler Justice. But as he gets closer, Justice definitely going to try to stick the elbows out, feed the dirty air to Pataska here. '77 taking an outside position there to try to defend his position with this extra speed down the backstretch. This time they're starting to approach almost, and they do, looks like they might have touched, could have been net code, but Justice sliding up the track. Great save by him, but he does get shuffled back quite a distance behind Hogan as well. So a big save for Justice. Man, that looked like netcode. I don't know if his car just got that loose or what. They definitely didn't touch on my screen, but nonetheless, Pataska moving up to P2, now working around Avila. So technically, Pataska back to the race lead. Morvan still out, still has not pitted. Showing the last pitted lap for Morvan was lap 113. So it definitely has to be getting tight on fuel. We'll just double check here real quick, make sure. Yeah, there's just too much on throttle time here at Texas to really try to be doing anything cute. He's just riding it out, hoping for a caution. Now that Hogan has worked his way around Avila, we have our battle for the lead return between the 23 and 96. Coming to the line, 25 laps to go here. Morvan's lead has cut down to about 13 seconds now. He's definitely using all of the fuel reserves as much as he can just to try to wait out some sort of caution, some sort of interruption to the race. Through the field, things are pretty spaced out after that green flag cycle, but technically cycle not complete yet, as Morvan still staying out here now with about 11-second lead over Protaska. It does look like Morvan now down pit lane, so Protaska up to the lead here. Hogan just behind, about half a second, and unfortunately Morvan tagged with a black flag there on too fast entering. Coming to the line, 17 laps to go here. Lap 184 of 200. So just a handful of laps here left. Hogan going to be looking to try to increase the pace here if he wants to try to chase down our leader. Their lap times are almost identical there. About 4 thousandths of a second difference between the two. Wanted to go back and see if we could watch Protaska leaving pit lane again. So we see Hogan, who's going to appear on the top of your screen here in just a second, actually get off pit lane before Pataska, he just, I don't know. He kind of just gets a little bit, just daydreams for a second, allowing Pataska to work underneath him. That was the pass that ultimately landed Pataska here the lead here with 15 laps to go. And I mean, you could say Pataska has had the pace all night, but you know, Hogan being ahead of the 23 still has to get around him. And just the time sink of battling Hogan, I mean, could be a very different picture now if Hogan's driving a little bit harder off of pit lane there. Could be something I'm missing, I don't know, but I mean, didn't see any sort of penalties or anything like that on exit for either car, so I think it was just Pataska caught the 96 sleeping just a little bit. But 13 laps to go here. Quickly approaching the end of this race. Again, thank you guys. I did the speedy thing down pit road. Yep. Yes, you did. Yeah, I know you were trying to stick it out for a caution, so fortunately, sorry that didn't work out for you. But was just about to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. It means a lot that you're here and that you continue to show up week after week. Again, be sure to follow the stream. Even feel free to use your Twitch Prime if you would like to support a small streamer. All of the revenue just goes back into the stream, back into the league to make the product better for you guys. Yeah, well, so I gotta try something. Yep. Hey, total respect. I mean, like, you gotta try something when you're off the pace. So. But P1 and P2 running the same exact. Oh nope, sorry. So Hogan running a 3.38, Pataska running a 3.88 last time by. Not gonna be enough. Hogan needs to try to pour it on a bit more here if he wants to close down this gap. Coming to the line, 10 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway. Do have a little bit of lap traffic here. Throw a wrinkle into things. Hogan still able to run his normal line, clear it all the way up to the wall on the exit of 4. And, Gill will be well out of the way through 1 and 2. Now, 9 laps to go here. Do have some lap traffic here just ahead of our leader. Obviously, I mean, he's going to be able to get around them rather easily, but any sort of dirty air, any sort of interruption to Pataska's flow here could cause, you know, any sort of slowdown, allowing the 96 to inch closer. We saw Pataska kind of riding in the wake of Bacon Zelenka. Boyd Hogan electing to kind of run up a lane here. And that actually proved to be a pretty successful strategy for the 96 as he's able to run about a 10th faster that lap. Again, Pataska riding behind Zelenka. Zelenka sliding up a lane. Pataska's going to enter or exit below him. It's going to kind of cut off his exit there. And again, Hogan about a 10th faster that time by, and able to more cleanly get around Zelenka here on the entry of 1. So it has closed down a bit here as you see Hogan pretty tight to the bumper of Pataska here, entering 3 and 4. The lead is just 2/10 here. That time Pataska able to run a bit cleaner through 3 and 4 there. And put down a 5.32. So yes, the lap traffic was the difference, and it was making a difference, but as Pataska gets back to clean air, he will return to his original pace. Have to make it dramatic for you guys. I mean, Hogan just needs to time it up with this last lap car. If Pataska gets kind of bottled up behind him again, Hogan runs a super hot lap up towards the wall, maybe able to be enough to get to the bumper of Pataska. Running out of time here, 4 laps to go now. Don't see the lap traffic anymore, so obviously they did work their way around. I guess that was Manassi Major who's behind them now, but all up to the drivers here now as they have clean air ahead of them. Hogan committing to this middle lane here, trying to get any sort of run here to try to close the gap with 2 laps to go here now. Pataska still managing the gap here. Got a 2/10 lead still over Boyd Hogan. Exiting 4. Last lap, white flag in the air. Pataska has moved up and down. The field started further back in the field, up 19 spots from the start of the race. Nailed his green flag stops and has nailed holding on to this lead so far. 3 and 4, all that's left for the 23 car. Sticks it to the bottom. Clean exit for Pataska. Pataska back to the line, and he's got a win here at Texas Motor Speedway. Hogan not far behind in P2. Tyler Justice coming across P3. Austin Brooks, then Avila in P5.